On today's collectible spot, we're having a look at the Bogies Mr. Snot. You have the bridge, Mr. Snot. This is one of the really cool Snot-related, Snot-inspired characters from the world of the Bogies. A spot that picked this up from weareodd.com. I'm going to provide the link down below if you want to check out some really cool t-shirts and other collectibles. Definitely check them out. This is a figurine with detachable keychain and features a battle card and flicker disc. Down below, little name tag there. It looks like he actually comes on a display base. I don't think it's actually part of the packaging, and actually there is the keychain underneath, so we'll get into all that when we get this out of the package. But the really beauty thing about something like this is you can either take it out of the package, or, as Spot's hopefully indicating here, he looks good just on a display. Just keep him in his little plastic bubble. You can keep him on display like that. So either way works. If you don't want to get him out of the package, you can do that as well. Unlike the pocket Bogies, the larger Bogies here, the Boogie variety, comes with actually a read-up on the back. There is a picture of Mr. Snot holding his phaser. It says, "Goes where no Bogies have ever been before, from the dirtiest handkerchief to the bottom of the school desk, and from the deepest nostril to the hairiest upper lip." Ooh, that's gross. Spots had discussions with people that had it like right there, and I didn't want to say anything, but I kept looking at it. And you think that they would see that I was seeing something other than their eyes. I was looking at something else and they didn't clue in. I didn't really tell them though. Anyways, Mr. Snot gets beamed from place to place by his good friend Snotty. Of course they had to use Snotty. All awesome. Picked date 1/7/2006. Actually tells you when it was picked. Love it. Keep your battle card, flicker disc, and Boogie Boogie stand to play Boogie games. Find out more at www.bogies.com. Now, where's the pocket Bogies were a lot easier to get out. You actually just open them up. These are sealed cases. So I am going to take a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to have a look at Mr. Snot. Stay tuned. Definitely more on the way. You'll get a couple of things with Mr. Snot. For starters, the back of that card, the back of the packaging that we were looking at that had the read-up on Mr. Snot, you can't actually just remove it. Although it got a little bent at the bottom there, but you can remove it and you've got yourself essentially a trading card, a card that carries the read-up on Mr. Snot at the back. So that's kind of cool. There's no way that it would peg itself to the back stand, which kind of would have been nice, but it's still really nice to have this on its own. Also on the back that featured Mr. Snot is your flicker disc, featuring thebogies.com on the back. Picture of Mr. Snot in the front. And lastly, before we actually look at Mr. Snot, on the underside of Mr. Snot was the keychain. You get a little key and hook, which I will show you in a second. Before we actually do that, let's have a look at Mr. Snot himself. He comes on a stand, a purple stand there, that actually has flocking on it. It's actually quite nice. Kind of reminds me of Panther from Masters of the Universe. Rubber front crest here, front plate that says Mr. Snot. On the other side it's just hollow, but it's a nice way to display the figure. Whereas the Pocket Bogies didn't necessarily have it, they were just really cool, small portable versions. This actually is something that is more of a showpiece. Something you put on your desk, on your shelf, and it looks really neat. If you are somebody that necessarily doesn't want him on the display base, well, you can actually take Mr. Snot, and one thing that's neat is you can remove Mr. Snot. You just take the base, unpeg it. Oh, and actually, look what we did. Look what Spot. I was going to say Scott, because I'm thinking of Scotty. You can actually, there is a clip Oh, fancy that. You can't take the clip, peg it into place. Mr. Snot now has a card. Just like so. Doesn't hold the best. Oh, okay, I got it, because Spot didn't have it all the way in. There you go. Like that. Like it a lot more. Just get that fixed. There we go. Mr. Snot has 2 peg holes on the underside, and as you can see, 2 pegs on his base. And you get yourself a really neat looking Snot. It's much larger, and actually it's got a lot more weight to it, of course, than the portable pocket Snots, pocket Boogies. He's carrying his phaser. Very common traits on Spock are carried over to Mr. Snot here, including the Vulcan eyebrows. Kind of got more of a burnt unibrow than that of 2 eyebrows. And he's got the pointier Vulcan ears. Poised with his phaser, ready to shoot. Snot is also featuring his uniform, his Starfleet uniform. He's a science officer, but he's holding a phaser. Clearly, Captain's in trouble. At the top of Mr. Snot, there's actually a little hook, which then takes us back to this. On the other side of the keychain, there's a little hook. Spot always seems to have a tough time hooking these things in, but there we go. You have Mr. Snot now as a keychain. Not too big of a keychain either. I mean, that's something you could still keep in your pocket. It's not like some of the huge things that I've seen as keychains. But I really like that. I really like the fact that you have the portability of carrying Mr. Snot around. You could even hang that, if you find a way, you could hang that from your mirror in your car. And Mr. Snot would always be there to protect you with his little phaser. Or, if you don't want that, you just unhook the keychain here part. And you can just simply peg him back into place. Now, once you peg him into place, then you want to take the card. And I guess the card is really kind of tucked in there. It's kind of tucked into the back there. So I might even just prop him just like so. There you go. Very cool. I don't know. I might even just leave the card off and just have him as is. As is, he looks really, really neat. And digging the flocked base that he comes with as well. Also, there's the flicker chip. Rules of this, of course, can be found at theviewspot.com if you want to play along the game. But I really like this. I like this quite a bit. The little Snot characters are fun. And being a big Star Trek fan, getting something like Mr. Snot, very, very cool. Again, I'm going to provide the link down below to weareodd.com if you want to check that out. We love odd.com. Definitely check them out down below. Today's collectible spot, we're having a look at Mr. Snot, which comes to us from the Boogies. Certainly stick around, guys. There are more collectible spots to come. As cool as this? Who knows? Thanks for watching, though, guys. See you next time. Actually, just one other thing. The really cool thing about the base, too, that Spot realized afterwards, if you don't want necessarily Mr. Snot's base on it as it is, you can also take the base stand out completely. Just pops out from the bottom. You can then easily peg the figure into his display base, like so, and like, find the peg hole there. There we go, like so, and you have a much smaller base. I don't know which one I prefer more because I kind of dig that his name is on the front, but at least you have options. And I like that quite a bit as well. See you guys next time. Fascinating.